When you get on a plane and go somewhere, you expect that whoever is flying the plane is competent and is going to keep you safe, will go around turbulence and try to get you to your destination safely using the best route possible. The problem is that that is not what is happening with our country. That is not what our leadership is doing. And most of us are on this plane just relaxing. We're on our devices, watching the movies, scrolling through social media apps, reclining on our seats, putting on our sleeping masks and falling asleep and just expecting that everything's going to be okay. But it's not, because whoever is flying this plane is flying us into a massive storm. And I think a lot of people are seeing that now. And this plane has not been maintained. The bolts are coming loose. The navigation system has glitches in it. And we don't really know who's flying this plane. We just assume that whoever is behind that cockpit door is going to get us out to the other side. And so now there's more turbulence and people are starting to wake up and are realizing what's going on. Some people are looking out the window and seeing that there's a lot bluer, calmer skies to the side, so why are we flying straight into this massive storm? And some people are even up and asking the flight attendants, we see that we're going straight into a storm, why don't you just change course? And the flight attendants are just telling us to sit down, put your seatbelt back on, and everything will be okay, just trust us. But some people have figured out that whoever is behind that cockpit door does not care about us. They care about other things, and they are deliberately flying into this massive storm. And every minute that passes, this turbulence gets worse and worse and worse. And it's hitting some parts of the country now extremely hard. But this is just starting. This is just starting in New York City. This is just starting in San Francisco. This is just starting in Chicago. And it's not here in this district yet, but it will be. So we need to get through that cockpit door and push those pilots aside. And I'm willing to be the first one to stand in front of it, but I can't do it alone. I need other people's help. And if we do get through that cockpit door, by the time we do, we're going to be in the eye of the storm. Even if in this election we can begin to turn things around and put enough people in office that can safely control this plane, we're going to already be in a storm. And the path that we came in on is going to be much easier than the path of getting out. And what we're also going to discover if we make it through that cockpit door is that the navigation system has been shorted out, the landing gear has been sabotaged, one of the engines is down, the masks are going to come down in the cabin, and the guys flying the plane, they have parachutes and they're going to breach the cabin door and jump out. And then everyone is going to wake up and be in panic. And this thing is going to crash land. I am just going to pray that the wings don't rip off and that the last engine goes out before it does. And that everyone's seatbelts in the cabins hold, and that I will be able to keep my head in this chaos that's going on. So that we can land soft enough so that injuries are minimized, and we will eventually be able to repair this plane and get it airborne again. I know that everybody here in this room is awake. Some of you still think that we have enough time to change course and go around the storm, but some of you realize that we are going into the storm no matter what. Some of you know that the people in the cockpit are deliberately flying us into the storm, and we can all speculate about what's exactly happening and why, but that's the truth of it. And I've never flown a plane before, and especially not in a hurricane, without a navigation system, with an engine down, no landing gear and the fuel running out. But I sure as hell am going to try to fly the plane and pull us out of this nosedive and land us as softly as I can. And you know why? Because my daughter is on this plane. My mom and dad are on this plane. My grandma is on this plane. And all of you are on this plane. And your families are on this plane. And I even care about the people who are on this plane who are still asleep, because I know that eventually the turbulence is going to get to them and they're going to wake up. And that's why I have been doing everything I can to get my campaign up and off the ground. That's why I've already spent over $25,000 of my own money and all of my waking hours for the last 2 months working on this when I'm not taking care of my business and my daughter and getting her to and from dance. So I'm just trying to pull together as many people as I can and wake up as many people as I can so that I have helped to get into that cockpit door and begin to turn this around.